One of my dear friends, Alex Garanjake, who also sells real estate here in the Tampa Bay area, asked if I wanted to join him for a Tuesday morning round at our club up at Cypress Run. And the weather was great, and it's been a while since I've gotten to get out, so I thought, why not? Let's go out, let's do it. So the intention was to actually shoot the front nine, but we had a third join us, and it's kind of cringy to have strangers watch you record your swings and explain what you're doing, so decided to pack it in because you had to bounce after nine anyhow. Ended up with a 40 on the front, which for how I was striking the ball and how I continue to strike the ball is a better number than I probably deserved. If I'm gonna put my hand up and admit it, I will take that number. So what you're gonna see is the back nine, and without further ado, enjoy the back nine at Cypress Run. All right, kick it off on number 10. It's a shorter par 4, but it is one of the more sneaky, difficult par 4s in the course because the landing area, everything funnels to the right and you're coming through a chute. So you have to work the ball right to left to have a wide look at the fairway, which I do not. So it's very intimidating when I sit back there. And if you're too far down the left, that tree that we're just passing right now in the flyover, that can block you out. So this is one where you really just play for par, bogeys are fine, even though on the scorecard you're probably thinking this is a birdie opportunity. The green's pretty narrow and it's subtle, so if you're close you can sink longer putts here than most places. But that immediately escapes my mind as I shoot it straight into the woods, and that really nice 4 over on the front, that's gone. So breaking 80,
that was hit well too.
We're looking at double after hitting a tree and trying to pull off a recovery shot. Really no opportunity there, but you know, no one wrote home about the time they laid up. So now we're about 140 out. Take a pitching wedge that never could have gotten there. I was just not feeling this hole at the moment. Thinking just hit a nifty little chip shot.
Did you do it?
Get out of here, get your double, move on, flush it, it's over. Now I go to number 11, which is many consider the signature hole at Cypress Run. It's a double dog leg, which is a, I guess you'd call that the signature design feature of the architect Larry Packard. He's actually the fellow who designed Copperhead, where they have the Valspar every year. And I think it's number 15 or 16, he has a similar double dogleg concept. And I saw in an interview, he said the reason is par 5s play like long par 4s for a lot of players, and that you're just asked to hit a shot then a long approach. And what he wanted was, no, you're gonna have to hit 2 really good shots to get an approach. So that's one of the features at Cypress, is all of the par 5s require 2 good shots and then an up and down. It is very difficult to get there in 2 at Cypress on any of the par 5s. 17, 16 is like the only one that's even possible to do that at. So flushed it pretty well, and all we're thinking is trying to get it right around that corner to shorten the second shot. Because all we want to do at this point is try to rattle off a couple pars, get my momentum back, don't even think about birdies, just get 2 pars in a row, find some level, you know, play, and then we can try to dial it up later as we start to feel it. But obviously after a double, you got to just play it safe. So drive was terrific. 7-iron to the layup area, and this is a distance I've gotten a lot more comfortable with. I know a lot of people say 100 and in, or like 80 and in, those touch and feel shots. I don't know, maybe I put myself in that bad position enough where I feel comfortable with it, being able to dial it in, but got myself a good look at birdie.
Oh, he didn't hit it.
You can't be leaving those short after that. But we're happy with the par. Pars are always good, came from out at par. So now we go to hole number 12, which is a short par 4. Now this is a birdieable hole, and all you need to do is hit something about 220 off the tee to have a wedge or a scoring club in your hand. It leaks to the right. The only real thing you need to worry about is that fairway bunker, but if you just don't play like an idiot, you can avoid that. If you just don't try to do a hero shot or hit something that, you know, takes on too much of the corner, if you just played a little safe, this is a very birdieable
Straight.
hole. So I took a 3-wood, and because my 3-wood always tends to leak right, this shot shape in this hole always suits my eye. I've never feel uncomfortable on that tee box. There's plenty of tee box, 10, always feel uncomfortable. This one, not so much. So I hit a wedge, just not the right wedge, but I was in between a pitching wedge and a 52, and I don't have a good number to get to 125, and I came up well short. Barely made it over the bunker.
Do it.
But
Do
the
it,
short
yeah!
game's been pretty nifty lately.
That's a birdie.
And a little tap in, chip in, I should say, for birdie. Now that was actually the third chip in of the round. Alex had 2 on the front, none of which were on film though, because he never requested it. So that's on him. Number 13 is it's less intimidating par 4 you think. It's a little longer, and those bunkers and that cluster of trees tend to make it look more narrow than it is. The reality of it is, for longer hitters, the bunkers are not really in play. You should be able to carry those. From the blues, it's only about a 235, 240 carry. And there's more room left and right than it looks like. As long as you don't balloon it or get caught in the chute coming out here, there's a lot of room to play with. So coming off a birdie, just want to play safe and play smart, so I just shoot it way right, almost OB, and block myself out behind the trees. But, you know, Cypress is a hard course, that's going to happen. When you get out of position here, you tend to get really out of position here. So, unfortunately, I didn't have enough club to get there and get over the trees. So I hit a little 8-iron, and I came up just short of a bunker in the thick rough. That's another thing Cypress has done recently, is they've let the rough grow in, and I like it. It is penal.
Another
you miss
gem.
the fairway, you're, you know, unless your short game's firing like mine is today.
Good.
You're going to be working to get yourself close to the pin. So, in order to salvage a round, you just got to make these putts.
Straight up and in.
Didn't hit it well, swiped it off the face. Anyone watching that could probably tell you that was not a clean putt, but whatever, it went in. So now I move to, this is probably my nemesis hole on the back. I cannot hit this green to save my life. The way to play it because of the slope is to have everything go right. You'd rather be short or right. You don't want to be long or left, because it's sloped left to right, and there's a collection area just left of the green. So if you're over there, you have to get some to go up and stop on a really sloped green. That's really tough to do. So I think today it was playing 135-ish. So tried to smooth the P wedge and the old Tuggarooski, just where I don't want to be. I'd rather be bunker right than where I am right here. But such is called. Had a decent lie, not great, but decent.
Oh yeah.
I was able to get the Kirkland wedge just underneath it.
Pretty darn good.
And honestly, on this hole, if you miss there and this is your putt for par, that's great. That's all you can ask for. You can't ask for much closer. It's just a really tough place to be on this par 3.
Yes,
Step up with a little help from my partner giving me the read. Again, not necessarily squaring the club face up with the putter, but they're falling, so it is what it is. Now 15 for the guys who work the ball right to left. Nightmare scenario, because, well, you can see there's just nowhere to go right to left off the tee. So you need to be about at least 215 in the air to be able to see the green, and the further left you are, the further back you can be and still see it. Driver is too much for most people unless you're playing the back tips. Really a 3-wood or a hybrid's all you need. But this one is usually not one that intimidates me because it suits my shot shape. I figure worst case scenario, I typically maybe get blocked out, have to, lay up, chip, play for a par. But usually this is a tee shot that, even though it looks intimidating, doesn't get to me except for today. And skull it right into the woods, a little uncharacteristic, so had to reload. And I probably could have dropped and taken some distance, but pride stepped in.
Well, it's just about perfect.
Just try it again. And I'm kind of glad I did. Because it got me back in rhythm, and I was about 120, but I learned my lesson. The 52 is just not going the distance I need to, so I tried to choke down on a P wedge, and I felt more balanced in this swing. And that was something I thought I could ride the rest of the round back in. Again, we're hoping a prayer this falls to save a bogey, but we're not optimistic at this point. And that's what you get, right off the face. It was I just didn't give it enough off the face. So 16, this is, believe it or not, the most gettable par 5, and it's still really not all that gettable, because you have to hit an absolute bomb of a drive to be able to see it. But then, just like on number 2 on the front, some trees overhang in the fairway that obstruct you from going for it in 2. Again, the course architect didn't like people going for it in 2, so the further left you go, the less those trees that we're passing over right now are in your way. However, the more this upcoming tree on the left comes into play. So your opportunity to go for it in 2 is a very narrow strip right down the center of the fairway, unless you're comfortable working it from 270 out. And the goal here is really just hit a good first shot, something you can find, and then you want your next shot just to get past that tree in the fairway on the left. Because if you're past it, you can, go for the green. But if you're short of it,
That won't hurt you.
it's gonna mess with your shot. You gotta work around it, under it, and as you saw with the green, it's not receptive. So I ballooned it right, but you'd rather be right than left here, because you can see there's a lot of room. I just got hit an 8-iron over some trees, which it was thick, and I got lucky I got through. But left is jail, because it's a row of trees that there's just no way to get anything down the fairway when you're in it. So I think we're about 170, fly or lie, and Alex put an 8 in my hand, saying it's going to bounce and it's going to release on you. Hit one of the best irons of the day. Wasn't that close, but we're just scrapping and salvaging. We're trying to break 80 at this point. Those thoughts are creeping in the mind. I won't lie, they're creeping in the mind. And 80 at Cypress, at my skill level, is always a really good day. So Alex I don't know if he said this is good or if he just kept it rolling. We did play some, no, I finished everything out. We did play some games, but I finished everything out. All right, hole 17. Once you get past 16, if you can go par, you win. You're not birdieing these last 2 holes. They're very rare. You got to run into some to birdie them. It's a long par 3 where the wind is predominantly in the face, and it's also one of the most firm greens. So anything that's low and running or bounces on, it's going to go all the way to the back. So for me, who always hits it low, as you can see with my natural press, this one's a problem for me, especially when it's pushed way back. I just don't hit these high long iron shots. And I hit it, and it was on the line. I thought, okay, that'll be by the bunker, in the bunker, not a problem. Came up like 60 yards short. I have no idea what the hell happened with that 5-iron. So I don't know what that was. But again, now I've got a little touch and feel wedge, which I've been fine, totally feel fine with these, and give myself another chance to save the par. I feel like my score is better than the way I'm playing, because I've been able to just work around the greens and make some putts I probably otherwise don't normally make. Just didn't give it enough. So now we're back to 80, which again, prefer to be in the 70s here. That would be a really good day, but I don't feel like I'm playing like a 70s round. And heading into 18 is not a birdie hole. So it's a dogleg right, but if you want to have anything less than 180, you got to cut the corner a little bit. You got to take it on. Now, what I'm really glad they did recently was they removed a tree that was in that bunker left or just on the other side of it, where if you hit a straight ball and you were in the left bunker, you were completely blocked out. You had no look at the green. And now if you're in the bunker, you can lay up, you have some options. Because the second shot is so tight with those 2 trees framing it, where I guess they felt like, and I agree, they had to make it a little more fair. I'm glad they did. Hit a really good one. The shot tracer was somewhat accurate here. It's not been the best. I'm going to look into something a little more precise for next one. So we're about I think we were 160, and we went with an 8-iron. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yep.
Just got over the tree, which has a tendency to chew balls and spit them out, but
70.
came up well short. Didn't strike it pure, I'm sure you heard. And now we're chipping again, and uh-oh, Alex, he pulled the pin again.
Oh, please. Please and thank you.
Yes.
79.
We chipped out twice in the
Let's
nine.
go. Bottoms
To
up.
bring us back to +7, a 79, which I had no business shooting today, but if you chip in twice, you deserve to get a little bit of reprieve. So thanks for watching. If you're still watching, you're a real trooper, and I appreciate the heck out of that. And if you can think of any other course in the area you'd like to see something like this done, drop it in the comments, and I'll be sure to get that shot. Thanks again.